series where I just do a first reading of a poem that I've never read before by a poet I might or might not know. I usually try to do people I don't know or don't know very well. So this one is from a journal called Radar Poetry. You can find it at radarpoetry.com. And I picked this one because the title, Splinter. There are a lot of other longer titles in this section, but something about the simplicity of Splinter made me look at it. There is a button to press play here at the beginning, and I think that's a fun idea to have. The recording of the poet on the same page as the poem, but I'm going to read it, not listen to it. Kim Stoll. I don't know Kim Stoll. Sorry, Kim. I'm not typically a fan of prose poems either, which is what this looks like. It doesn't mean I've never liked one. I'm just typically not a big fan of the form, so I'm just going to run through it, see what we see. Splinter. We capture boxed turtles from wild strawberry patches. Keep things until we don't anymore. Fireflies in wooden boxes. This feels, right off the bat, very child, nature-oriented. It might not be. Capturing turtles. We keep things until we don't anymore. Fireflies in wooden boxes. I'm trying to relearn myself. Like going back and looking at what you've done, how you've kept things, is the trying to relearn yourself, or this process of catching and releasing is the way to relearn yourself. The stiff, sleek fur of a doe. That's a nice phrase there. The stiff, sleek fur of a doe. I touch everything and then I don't. It's a real regressive quality and exploratory quality to this poem. Move somewhere all the plants or thorns and animals are off in the distance. So moving away from where you touch the animals, where the plants are not somewhere you want to touch. The sun lays everything bare. If I put my foot into a muddy stream, I'd be lost all over again. It's as if the speaker, has found herself in these images in this process, but might just as easily be lost with a foot in the stream. A crawfish dropped in rapids. That she would be the crawfish dropped in rapids, I suppose. Pintail shot from the sky. I can't keep remembering. Which is what the first part of this poem mostly felt like, remembering something you would have done as a kid, or remembering being in a space in nature. Dogwood blossoms and lawn mowers sawing through the afternoon, yes. Common image, but one that's not often brought up in poetry. Horse thrashes its head up and down, refusing the bit. Garden spray on snapdragon. Under this ground is more ground. Under the more ground is more ground still. It feels like that's what's happening here with these images. With these memories, we're uncovering ground, and then there's more ground, and we keep uncovering it. And that's the process of figuring out, to relearn yourself, relearn myself in the beginning. Remembering how far back you can go, how far back until I arrive on a boat, sick and holding my Bible. This almost feels like an immigrant image coming into the U.S. or somewhere. I build a whole religion here, a life. It's as if we've regressed back as you've gone down into the earth. A barn, a chair to sit on, mice in the birdseed canister. The coal train is coming, and there's our grandfather sprinting towards the track. It's almost as if we've gone back in time to the train and the grandfather. Younger, sprinting. It's hard to imagine this kind of an old person sprinting, but a young person sprinting. It's back, so we've regressed. This one is fun to read. I don't know that I have a reading. I don't ever think that I have a kind of final reading when I do a first reading of it. But I like the way that this one doesn't try to answer anything. It just goes and presents and discusses and exists in the state of finding, of relearning. I think the older I get, the less I really want poems to tell me an answer as much as just explore, and this one is doing that. The form didn't bother me at all in this one. Like I said, I'm not typically a prose poem person, but I think it worked okay with this one. I think you could switch this one onto lines fairly easy, and that Kim Stoll does this by the punctuation in the poem. So, fun poem. I'd like to see more of her work.